What the hell are the New Day doing? And cut to black. Okay, goodbye then. We'll see you next week. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. We're on the way to the Elimination Chamber, and thank God for the women turning it up, because man, oh man, they certainly saved this show. It wasn't a great show, it was just a show. Of all the shows that WWE has put on Mondays, this was certainly one of them. So, yeah, I want to say in a couple weeks I will be watching another Regal Mystery movie, so that review will be up later than usual, and after Raw, the Raw after Mania might be the last Raw review that I end up doing for at least a little bit, because, yeah, it's more digestible with the shorter run time, but there's not a lot to sink my teats into with Raw. I think that's how that phrase goes. I haven't even bothered watching a bunch of SmackDown lately, because why? So, anyway, I do want to know what you guys think is going to happen at the Chamber, as we're just a few weeks out. So, 20,000 seating capacity for this venue, and that about 12,500 people, according to WrestleTix, are thereabout, and the last time they were there for SmackDown on the 4th of October 2024, and they had 10,000 people, so they're ticking up. Jay shows up yeeting and so on into infinity. Can there be an audio option where we can mute Pat McAfee because he's fucking awful? I don't mind him in small doses, but my God, he's awful. So he gets in the ring. The fans want him to yeet and, play the theme again. So he does. And then Gunther shows up. Thank fucking God Gunther showed up. To establish his superiority over others. They've turned him into generic 80s foreign heel menace, and Gunther's better than that. A lot better than that. So anyway, he beat him up some. Security showed up. Jay dived on everybody, security and Gunther, and then Jay says, I probably shouldn't do this, but Gunther, I'll see you at Mania. I still maintain if they hadn't had Jay face Gunther at Saturday night's main event and had him earn this shot, it probably would hit a whole lot more for me, but we've seen him lose to Gunther before. People like it. I'm not going to deny it. And you know what? He's probably going to beat Gunther, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily going to, I don't know. A lot of people like it. I'm just on island because I'm not going to eat all night long. Because, I'm a 44-year-old guy and I don't know what the fuck eating is. Kathy is with Rhea. Boy, do I wish. And Io basically wants her. Me too, Io. Me too. So we get a tag title package for the Raiders and the Creeds. Liv and Raquel against Io and Dakota. In all honesty, I actually was very appreciative of the fact that three women basically were able to have a tag team match here. Because Raquel, I don't know if it's ever going to happen with Raquel. Like, her and Rhea actually had some pretty decent matches. Maybe even, pretty good matches in NXT. But it has never been the same for Raquel. She does not mean nearly as much on the main roster. I know that she's had injuries, and she had a skin condition flare-up. I don't remember what the exact term was. I get it. I'm not knocking her because of that. I'm knocking her because she's a lousy wrestler, and Liv is having to carry this fucking team. Dakota is back after suffering a concussion, and thankfully she's been cleared. She then hurled herself stupidly at the ring post. Good tactic there. So, Io and Liv go at it in the ring and only there. And there was Cole called it the Oblivion, but I think it was like a Codebreaker variation. But it looks like Io got busted in the face, and Liv got busted and was bleeding a little bit later. Good grief. Good God, y'all. And she's like, I'll just keep doing this and fighting. So to be fair, these women were really, tearing it up, except for Raquel. Raquel was just stinking it up. I will stop knocking Raquel when she actually learns that you're not very fucking good at this. You're really not very good at this. So, Dakota Kai hit what used to be the chiropractor, but only got a 2. And with Liv bleeding, she hit Oblivion, Io broke it up, and then a stomp, and then soon after the over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Good. Io pinned Liv. That was a bit of a choice, given something that we found out later, but certainly not bad. Actually a pretty good opener. And then KO talking about Sami Zayn, how he's going to have to destroy him. Them facing off again at Mania. You know what? It makes sense. They might as well do it at this point. They aren't getting any younger. KO signed a new contract where he's going to be there till 2030 for a shit pot full of money, and I don't blame him. Gunther, look, they're doing this leaders and recruits show or whatever the fuck it is, and Gunther's trying to get people to... I don't know what I don't care. This is like a bad version of Tough Enough. I will not be watching this show because I don't care. I just don't. I hope that these recruits, these trainees, they do well and they succeed. I really truly hope that, but I do not have enough time or patience in the day to bother watching a show like this. Roxanne was at ringside. I thought she was going to interfere in the following match. It's Lyra Valkyria against Bayley. Considering that Bayley did not get much of a TV entrance, I was actually a bit surprised they did that, but okay. Chamber qualifier match. Lyra, the current Intercontinental Champion. You know what? Split crowd. They did some good stuff here. Lyra's good. Bayley's good. They both look good. Boy, howdy. But Bayley is really the only one of the 4 horsewomen that actually has any value to either company at this point. Charlotte means nothing. Becky will probably come back to face Lyra. I would imagine she'll show up after the Chamber, and we do that short build. And to be perfectly honest, if Becky were to beat Lyra and we were to build a program, fine. If Lyra were to beat Becky, we have it at this point. I mean, Becky, I think, no doubt, is going to be back at some point, and really that would be a perfect Mania match. Unless they don't want to do it there and they don't want to rush it, they want to put it to SummerSlam, that's fine. So, Lyra focused on the arm. Bayley kind of bubble bobbled the corner bomb. Bubble Bobble was a fun game. Who remembers that game? If you do, you're about as old as I am. A weird wine slam variation that kind of didn't go well for 2. This is starting to, this is starting to get a little bit messy. Lyra landed badly a few times on her face. A tornado DDT, a fisherman's buster outside, and then a fisherman's suplex, and then a fisherman's suplex inside for 2. A leg drop off the ropes. It looked like Lyra was going to get the victory, but then eventually, after hitting her head, got rolled up with some variation. 1, 2, 3, and Bayley pinned Lyra. I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense here, but like you're going to have an Intercontinental Champion that's losing. I mean, yeah, non-title matches, but I don't know. At least the women helped save this thing. A Penta video package where he's talking about Kaiser and Pete Dunne. All right. I mean, hey, at least they're giving attention to Penta. Hey, maybe now that the AEW's, Malachi Black's contract expired, but now that Starks and Miro have been released, maybe he'll release Phoenix within a couple months. Because why not at this point? It's not like Penta's floundering. You can release Phoenix, you can ingratiate him, and then you can have them form as a team by the end of the year. Or have them beat DIY. Have somebody take the titles off of DIY. It's good. So that being said, Jackie is with Kaiser, and then Dunn shows up, and are we going to get an unlikely tag team? My God, Britain and Germany teaming up again. Winston Churchill's rolling over in his hellish grave. Lyra and Ivy are backstage with the Goon Squad. Why is Alpha Academy still a thing? I'm not talking about the talents being in the company. I'm talking about the concept. There are too many stupid stables. So anyway, Ivy and Lyra will be a fine match, except for the fact there's no way Ivy's going to win. Here's AJ Styles. He's back in Nashville, the house that AJ Styles built. And anything worth doing is going to be hard. I'm sorry, so mature. And he, talked about coming back from his injury, how hard it was. Whenever it's hard, you know that you're just going to have to beat it until it's soft and everything. What am I on about? But here's Dominic and Carlito. Fun fact, AJ Styles had just turned 11 when Carlito's dad, Carlos Colon, had, basically planned the murder of Bruiser Brody. That's not Carlito's fault, but that is definitely Carlos Colon's fault. And Jose Gonzalez. They kept booing Dominic a lot. Styles kept wondering, where's Rhea? Where's Priest? Oh, is Finn busy doing all this? Judgment Day needs to be disbanded. I'm just going to say that. A brief brawl. So we're getting that. So, okay, we get AJ and Dominic having, they're going to have a match next week. All right, that's fine for what it is. Gunther and Jay is made official for Mania Night 1. Jackie is with Rollins and some landing, and they need either a better microphone or these guys need to learn how to speak into the microphone because Rollins couldn't really say much. Maybe his outfit was too loud, and maybe Finn just is too short and can't speak up. I don't know. Good job, guys. Logan Paul next to Nashville Predators sign. You know, the Paul brothers being next to Predators, that's kind of fitting, isn't it? So, Pat McAfee at the Super Bowl. For what reason do we have to show Pat McAfee getting ready for a Super Bowl ad? Styles and Dom next week, and Steiner shows up in a cowboy hat. I was losing it. I absolutely lost it seeing Braun Steinbreaker in a cowboy hat. Wish I could quit spearing you, boy. You're welcome. That's what you'll hear when they face off. You will hear Steiner saying he wished he could quit spearing him. Spearing him from where? And spearing him how? You're welcome. So, then the Raiders took on the Creeds in a tag title match, and later Julius Creed hit one of them with a tag title and caused a DQ. I mean, okay, I didn't figure we were going to get a clean finish, but it's fine. The tag division's dead. More Judgment Day shit. My God, please stop, because they don't know how to build a faction, even if they're going to be a fucking faction. Isn't that right, Kier? Poor Kier, such a good guy. But I have to bring up that tweet again. Especially if somebody's going to get in something. Aren't they, Kier? You know what quotes I'm talking about. Again, poor Kier. Great guy. So, Rhea then confronts Io and Dakota outside. I thought Rhea was going to say, my Uber left me. Can I get a ride? And says, hey, Io, on the Raw after the Elimination Chamber, you face me. So we're either getting shenanigans or we're getting this match in a blow-off a month, 6 weeks before Mania, and I don't quite get it. But, all right. Bit weird. So CM Punk comes out with, all the piss and vinegar, and he just used to be filled with vinegar. I did like the CM Punk talks too much sign, which I found kind of funny. Even though I like Punk, that was pretty funny. He's going to be part of that recruit show, whatever. Bubba Ray's part of that, as if Bubba knows what it takes to be a star when Devon carried the team. So Punk basically says he's coming for Cena, he's coming for Cody, and he will beat Drew McIntyre so bad, just like he did at Hell in a Cell, and that he will win the Chamber, and then Logan Paul shows up. Then Logan Paul faced Ray. Then Logan Paul beat Ray, and he's going into the Chamber. That's your review right there. That's all I have to say. I have a Logan Paul rule that if he's in a multi-man match or whatever, okay, I'll watch. If he's in a singles match, I don't care if it's a 5-star classic. I hate the motherfucker. I hope his wife and child, end up abandoning him. And I really, quite frankly, hope that the man just ends up somehow not being able to continue his wrestling career. Because realistically, a guy with that shitty of an attitude and that shitty of an outlook and being that shitty of a person really doesn't deserve the success he's gotten when there are clearly way better people that would do a lot more good with it. That being said, that's Raw. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.